Tell you what, we've taken this old Luxie to some pretty cool places recently on the Bush Mechanic Challenge against the GQ Patrol and Sean, up to Fraser Island, and more recently, we even took her up to Cape York as well.
Down I go.
But now, we want to see just how far we can get this 25-year-old four-wheel drive on a limited budget and take it on some of the toughest tracks in Australia. So we want to be able to prove that you don't need the biggest budget in the world to go out and have fun in an old vehicle. Over the next episodes, we're going to be taking this old Luxie, and we're going to be building it up in my shed at home. Obviously, this isn't a state-of-the-art workshop. I don't have all the tools, but I pretty much spend most of my time in here anyway, so I'm pretty excited to get into this. And by the end, we're actually going to see if we can even enter this vehicle into a full drive competition against fully dedicated comp trucks. We've got a max budget of $5,000 to build this vehicle up. We had a $5,000 budget in the Bush Mechanic Challenge, and we got the vehicle a fair way on that budget. It was pretty surprising how far we got it, but now with another $5,000, I reckon we're going to turn it into an absolute weapon. Rightio, so I've written a rough plan on a bit of cardboard. I've called it the pony plan. So basically, the first one is suspension, wheels and tyres, and that's what we're going to do today. After each stage, we're going to take this vehicle out into the bush and see how that modification's affected how it drives. It's already pretty capable, but I reckon once we do these step by step, it's going to turn into a bit more of a weapon. Righto, let's get into it, eh?
Now, a build in the shed is always going to be better with mates, so I've got my good mate Matt Kinsella on the way to help me spin some spanners. But I can't wait to get this build started, so I'm going to get right into it. To install the suspension, first things first, we're going to have to pull out all the old shocks and leaf packs, and while we're at it, we're also going to change all the leaf spring bushes, we're going to swap out the torque rod for an adjustable one, and we're also going to be adding greasable shackles as well. Soon enough, Matt rocks up to the shed, ready to get on the tools.
G'day mate, good, how are you?
Matt is a HILUX nut, and he's owned this SAS HILUX for the last 10 years and built it up himself. This thing is an absolute beast. Matt, of course, also helped Team Pony put together the LM106 in the Bush Mechanics Challenge, building up the vehicle in just 24 hours and co-piloting it with me as we thrashed Daryl around the tough tracks of the Glass House. So I couldn't think of a better bloke to have on the job. This home shed is starting to get a bit crammed with Hiluxes. We've got my own SAS HILUX, Matt's SAS HILUX, also the $1,000 Lux, which needs a bit of love, and of course our newest project, the Mighty Pony.
Righto, so I'll show you what I've done so far.
You've started without me.
Yeah, I have, sorry mate, but yeah, just pulled the old springs and shocks out. I thought they'd be a pain considering it's like 25 years old, but
yeah, pin's a bit seized in there.
yeah, in fact, the two front pins were already loose, so that's good.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, it all came out pretty nicely, so I figured I could probably do this side, and you could do that side if you wanted to.
Yeah, righto.
And we can race.
I'll probably catch up.
Yeah, that's what I figured. I get a head start as well.
Matt Kinsella owns and runs Kinsella's Customs, which is a full drive custom fabrication shop, so he knows his way around the tools. He's got the passenger side shocks and leaf packs coming out, ready for a bigger lift and new suspension.
Righto, so I'm just laying all the suspension parts out on the workbench just to check that we've got everything. This is a 2-inch suspension lift that we're putting in the vehicle, so it is good just to check that you got all the parts. It's looking pretty good, so ready to get it in the vehicle.
Changing the suspension on the shed floor is not exactly the easiest way to do it. But this is a budget build after all, and we don't exactly have a hoist to spare. Speaking of keeping the budget, the Fulcrum suspension kit came in at around $1,500, and I reckon it'll be money well spent towards making the HILUX into a very capable vehicle.
Yeah, you took the easy side, mate. No torque rod, no exhaust in the way of the shackle bowl.
While we plan to make this little Luxie capable enough to take on Australia's hardest tracks, the principle of this build is going to be to keep it simple, with mods anyone can do at home, and that extends to our choice of suspension as well.
Righto, so we've opted just for a standard 2-inch lift with this HILUX, and there's a couple of reasons for that. The first being, you can get these vehicles a fair way on just a 2-inch lift and some slightly bigger tyres, which is what we want to do. But with these LM106 HILUXes in particular, a lot of people do what's called a rear up front conversion. Basically involves taking your rear springs and putting them in the front. Gives you heaps more flex because they're a longer spring, but there actually is a fair bit of work involved in doing it, and time in measuring and welding and cutting and getting things right. And also the budget as well. We can get this done in a day and then we can head out onto the tracks and it'll still be pretty capable, and we don't need to go up to massive tyres as well with it anyway. So we'll get it all in and buttoned up, it should be good. Righto, so we got the front springs in. We've still got to tighten everything up, but we'll do that once it's under its own weight on the ground. And then we've just got to put the front shocks in and the torque rod, and then we can move on to the back. Righto, so got the old torque rod out, so you got an adjustable one.
Yep, ready to go in.
Yep.
So the benefits here are that when the push-pull steering is in the leaf-sprung Hiluxes, if they haven't gone to a high steer setup, when you're driving down the road and if you need to brake in like an emergency situation, the diff is going to roll, which will cause the steering to engage, pulling it left or right. Tying this in prevents that happening, which keeps the car straight when you're braking.
Definitely, and we're putting an adjustable one in, obviously, because we've got more travel in the suspension, so you need a bit more length in this torque rod. Righto, so it's time for an exciting part. I'm pretty sure every single time a photo or a video went up of the pony, a bunch of you commented saying, Jocko, please put bigger tyres on it. So that's what we're doing. Bought some second-hand tyres for it. I got these off Facebook Marketplace. 900 bucks I paid for them. I did chuck some new wheels on it. These are a dynamic steely. The reason I went for steely is because they're affordable and they're strong. So I actually decided to go for 33s over 35s. There's a couple of reasons for that. They're more affordable. They put less stress on the driveline, and they're also easier to fit. You have to do less work to make them fit. And I reckon the pony's going to be just as capable on 33s, twin locked, and keeping up with the bigger trucks on 35s. So how good's that, eh? New tyres.
The extra clearance from these tyres is going to make a huge difference off-road, as getting hung up was a massive problem for the vehicle when we started wheeling it back on the Bush Mechanic Challenge.
This is already looking sick, hey?
Yeah.
I haven't even dropped it off the jack.
It's crazy what a good set of tyres will do to any car.
Huge difference. Wow.
Tell you what, I'm stoked you guys asked for this mod, because I reckon it makes the pony look sick.
If you have any other ideas for mods you reckon would be good to put on the pony, make sure you chuck them in the comments below, and I'll be sure to check them out to get a few ideas.
Righto, so the pony's already looking like a new rig, and we've only done half the install. Now the front's back under its own weight, we'll nip up all the bolts and then move on to the rear suspension. The U-bolt nuts can be notoriously stubborn. A handy tip is to give these a spray in something like WD-40 a couple of days before you do the suspension install, or use a big breaker bar and a bit of persuasion. U-bolts are under a fair bit of tension when they're done up, so even if you're just doing minor modifications, if you ever are undoing these, it's good practice to replace them anyway.
Ready to go, Jock? New shocks, mate?
Righto, so we're just finishing off putting in the rear springs, but once we drop it down, it's probably going to be sitting higher at the back. Reason for that is I gave Fulcrum pretty much the rough weights that are going to be in the back, the fridge, the shock customs drawers, a second battery, a 33-inch spare, and then maybe some fuel and stuff like that. So they match that spring rate to the rough weights that I gave them. So once we put all the stuff in the back, obviously it'll sit nice and level, but for now, it'll probably sit a bit higher while there's nothing in the tub. So get it all buttoned up and drop it down onto some tyres. It should look pretty good.
I reckon we'll have to head back up to Queensland and see the boys and challenge old
Take
Darryl to a
Darryl on.
rematch.
I reckon so. Once we're done with all these, I think Darryl won't stand a chance.
Soon enough, the new tyres are ready to go on, and the Luxie is about to get a whole lot more capable.
Sick. These look so cool.
Looks cool, eh?
Yeah.
Time to wheel it.
Yep, time to go for a wheel. How exciting, eh? Let's
give it a
put
run.
this thing to the test.
If there was ever a case for what a huge difference a simple 2-inch lift can make, it's right here. And we've done it in just one day in the shed with some simple tools.
So I'm just packing a whole bunch of spare parts before we go away. I've got these tubs that I put all the spares in, and Spares Box fortunately sent us a whole bunch of spares, so got some belts and stuff like that, some hoses. I like to carry these little 1 litre bottles of diff oil and stuff like that just because they're easy to get into on the side of the track, and it's handy just to have a litre of the major ones like diff and gearbox oil. I like to take some bearing grease as well, and spare fuel filter, and a spare air filter as well, which should be good to go. Hey, what do you reckon?
Looks pretty good, eh?
Bit of a beast. It's earned its spot amongst two pretty capable rigs, I reckon.
Yeah, she fits in well.
What do you guys reckon? Which Hilux would you choose? The Mighty Pony or one of the SAS Hiluxes? Let us know in the comments below. For now though, mate, it's time to take her wheeling, eh?
Yeah, let's go for a run.
Righto.
For our test run, we're heading out to the Wadigans, a 4-wheel drive hotspot that isn't too far from home, full of tough tracks to challenge the Luxie. Well, mate, in the bush?
Yeah, it's good to be back, isn't it?
Yeah, big
in
time.
The Mighty Pony.
I'm so excited.
Yeah, after what we did yesterday, I'm keen to see how it goes.
Yeah, and tell you what, I reckon with the suspension in 33s, like it's already twin lock, it's going to be pretty capable.
And with that extra traction and a bit more clearance, I think nothing's going to stop us now.
Yeah, well, we'll see. I've got the perfect track in mind.
Oh, really?
I'm hoping there's a few big rocks and stuff we can check just how much of a clearance increase we've gotten. So, yeah, it's just up here, I reckon. What do you reckon? Give it a go?
Right. Keen.
Yeah, cool. Our first track of the day is Cut Rock Road. A short but technical climb with some huge rock steps to climb up to make it to the top. The first challenge of the track caught the boys out last time when they were here, with Sean getting himself jammed up against a rock wall, Graham running out of clearance on the rock, and Stu from Wholesale also diffed out on the rocks as well. All in all, this will be a huge test out for our new setup. Now of course, this model HILUX didn't get the nickname Rollux for no reason. They're quite a narrow vehicle, and once you lift them, you increase the centre of gravity. And with that increase in height and higher gearing thanks to the bigger tyres, we're going to have to be extra careful. And I'm not going to lie, there's a few nerves. The last time Matt and I went wheeling together in this vehicle, things didn't exactly go to plan.
Oh my god!
Every time I get on an angle this side, I'm like, oh no! Flashbacks.
At least you've driven it since.
Yeah, true.
I'm traumatised. Let me drive.
Okay. Oh, that looks bigger than I remember.
Little Luxie.
This is just the entrance to the first challenge, but so far she's eating it up.
Well done, mate.
That was nice.
Yeah, nice and smooth.
Yeah, lifted a big wheel there, I think.
Someone's nervous.
Yeah, it's been a while, mate. It's been a while. I'm a bit rusty. Last time we wheeled this car together, I binned it. Righto, it's time for the big step. Let's see just how much difference that clearance makes.
Hopefully the tyres give us a bit of difference, hey?
I don't know where I'm going.
Straight.
Yes. Pick the line. Now she walked up.
That was great.
What a rig. No, not that.
We're not over yet, mate.
Did I just speed the tub again?
Get out.
Sorry, Luxie.
Oh, it looks like it's been attacked by a lion.
Oh, that's not too bad. Battle scars. I'm actually pleasantly surprised. It's
Yeah.
well up there. You could really tell it had a little bit more clearance, slightly bigger tyres, and as you said, because it's a narrow dog, I reckon it probably didn't fall into those ruts
Yeah,
either.
I think that really helped, or we would have been dragging the bolts the whole way.
There you go, that was a pretty good start. This is a pretty challenging track, and so far we've had no dramas. But with the standard diff gearing, we're finding we really can't drive as slow as we'd like to in a nice controlled manner. Bounce it!
Yeah, loves it.
Bonus line! Up ahead is the biggest challenge of Cut Rock. A huge rock slab on an insane angle. None of the boys managed to drive this one when they attempted it last time,
I don't want to drive that.
and all of them ended up on the winch. Righto, let's do it, eh? Come on, Pony.
Come on, Pony, you'll get up this, mate.
Forward, Jocko! Run out of juice. The Luxie seems to have just run out of torque here. We've got the clearance, but it doesn't want to go, which means I'm going to have to up the revs and try it again.
Start again, give it a bit more bunty.
All right,
I think you need to give it a little bit more of a fishy.
yeah, I'll go over to the left a little bit more.
Yep, okay. I don't think there's much of a choice in the
Yeah.
old V, but up we go. Oh, that's more like it. Come on.
Come on, yeah! Whoa! Almost did a bonus line again.
That's it there.
Oh, that's the wall. I'll tell you what, that is super impressive. Particularly for a four-wheel drive that's used to pretty much getting hung up on the stiffs on every challenge. But of course, there are a few things we need to work out now with those larger tyres.
You could really tell, like, my foot was flat at one point. It was just bogging down.
Dying a bit, wasn't it?
Yeah, I reckon a little bit more torque to turn those tyres, maybe in some.
reduction gears or
Yeah.
drift gears or something would help.
Yeah, definitely. But I mean, once it had a bit better line and it wasn't trying to climb two holes at
And it
once.
kept moving.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just down low, there's not enough torque there now with the bigger tyres, is there?
Yeah, definitely. It was
They
like-
were hooking up well though, like
Yeah.
I mean, it went up all right.
definitely, and like you can see where the rear tow bar was digging in the bottom there.
Yeah, the one that doesn't
wasn't
come
angled
out.
like that. Yeah, even still not coming out after all that.
We haven't been able to get this tow ball to come out for love or money, and it's a bit of a land anchor. Something we're definitely going to have to deal with a bit later.
Thought it'd be cool to have a couple of pies, mate. Chuck them in the pie oven.
Yep.
And it means that we don't need to stop. We can just keep wheeling. Got a pie?
Thank you, sir.
Ready to go, mate? Well, I think I dented that door. Yeah. Can you handle that? Can you do two things at once? I can roll the car and eat a pie.
Oh, good. Well, that's cut rock done. Where to now?
Yeah. Maybe we could go do CPT80.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. Well, Cut Rock Road proved to be no match for the Luxie, but there's some obstacles on our next track that should really put the new mods to the test. This track has got a heap of different bog holes and a bunch of rocks that are pretty much designed to hit your diffs. And Matt's keen to get behind the wheel and give it a go. Flexi dog!
Oh, the suspension's working good.
Yeah, really nicely.
Makes yesterday worth the effort.
Definitely, yeah. Hold on. Oh, that wasn't too bad.
Yeah, I mean, considering we don't have any brakes, it's
Yeah.
pretty good. Oh, there's that tow bar again.
Time for a bit of mud bogging. I've wound my window up.
Oh, I probably should do the same, I suppose.
I put the recovery gear in the back seat as well. So
What are you saying?
just in case, you know.
Oh, yeah, wait.
I know you love your mud
canopy.
boggy.
You've been driving all day, you didn't need it. All
Yeah.
of a sudden I'm driving, now you need to put it on the back
Exactly, mate. Exactly. The
Thanks a
word
lot.
skilled driver gets thrown around a lot these
Ah,
days.
yes. What's usually the start of your sentence?
Into it, mate. Oh my god.
Whoa!
Come on, Pony! Come on!
Oh, it stings!
Come on, you're in! We're almost there. Why don't we get all the back windows open?
Right, we'll get this time ready.
Yep. Come on, Pony. We just had to clear the fog hole out. Come on, that's it!
Last time.
Last one.
Oh!
What was that?
That's the tow bar!
Oh no! Oh, we almost
Come
had
on, pony!
it. Wow.
We've only been driving 5 minutes, and we already need to winch.
The mud puncher starts again.
Righto, mate, you're all hooked up and ready to go, but just letting you know, I give the vehicle to you for 5 minutes and you're already stuck in a bog hole and covered in mud. So I know you're a closet mud puncher, mate, but I expected better from you.
Oh, come on, mate. You've only given me one track to choose from, and it's one bog hole or the other.
Got him! Ah. Righto, well, let's winch you out here, eh?
Righto, stand clear, winching.
Oh man, it looks like I got another job for the shed now, cleaning the mud off.
Well, the old tow ball strikes again. We've had a lot of trouble getting this thing off. Matt heated it and hit it with a sledgehammer and still couldn't get it, so I think we're just gonna have to, maybe next episode, remove the whole rear tow bar because it's just a bit of a boat anchor at the moment.
Righto, on to the last challenge of the day, and this one will be a real test of the limits of the vehicle.
Well, we're over that stupid mud section. Now we can try something good, like
I
some
knew
rocks.
this track had some rocks you'd like, so it'd
Yeah, thanks, mate.
be bonus line.
Yeah, no, sort of.
That is an interesting line.
It's very slippery.
Yeah. There's
not
a fair
gonna
bit
get
of
it.
mud in the tyres.
Yeah.
If there's anyone who knows how to turn the wheel of a Hilux, it's Matt. He's trying the more difficult line here and trying to square the vehicle up over the larger rock steps. But there's a fair bit of mud on the tyres and the rocks down the bottom are quite slippery. The vehicle's also trying to climb 2 rock steps at once, one on the front diff and one on the rear diff, which makes things a bit more difficult. Oh,
Never lift.
she was up. Never lift. Maxine. She was almost up. That's... Yeah, there's a bit of a clutch button. Yeah. And just like that, with a little bit more momentum, Matt's got the Luxie up the first section. Having a vehicle with a solid front axle allows you to pick harder lines because the suspension will articulate over the larger rocks, and the vehicle will stay more level. Whereas with an IFS vehicle, you'd find you'd probably be picking up a wheel pretty fast if you tried the same line. That's okay.
Nah.
Nah, doesn't want that. Matt's strategy here is to get the vehicle to climb the rock step on the right hand side first. That'll allow the suspension to flex out, and then he can drive forward and allow the left tyre to run along the bank on the left hand side.
There we go. Oh no! Did you just damage the front of it? Oh! No. Oh no.
I think you might owe me a couple of beers, Matt, or maybe even a set of rock sliders, eh?
Go up, please.
Yeah, don't slip in.
That's better.
Yeah.
I think it's too slippery for it.
Yeah, do you want me to get out there and look?
Yeah.
The vehicle's almost up, but it's pivoted around the rear axle. So what we're going to do is do a little bit of rock packing just to bump the rear section of the vehicle up.
Little bump. Yes! Now it's going to drop in. Yeah! Go the pony, what a beast! How good's that, eh? Just a little bit of rock packing. And Matt can also turn a wheel pretty well, so got her up and happy days. What a little rig.
Well, there you go, folks. The Little Lux has already made some huge leaps in performance after just one day in the shed. But we've only just started on this little Luxy build, and there's heaps more to come.
Well, mate, how unreal was that? A day in
what
the
a day.
shed, yeah, and then a day out wheeling. Did really well, and I'll tell you what, there were definitely some areas where it performed really well, and
Some bits that might have let it down a little bit. Maybe we probably should give it some bar work, I reckon.
definitely bar could be one, and then also maybe slowing it down a little bit as well. It's
Yeah,
sort of,
bit.
and getting a bit more torque on those steeper sections.
Yeah, definitely. When we were trying to go a bit more controlled, it was lacking a little bit of
Yeah,
torque.
I found myself riding the clutch. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
And probably also fix those brakes as well.
Yes,
That's a
yep.
big one. A little bit more to do, but I tell you what, how good's that, eh?
For a budget ute,
Yeah.
you can't get any
It's a
better.
lot of fun. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching, and be sure to keep an eye on our YouTube channel, Facebook and Instagram as well, because we've got a lot more in store for the little pony. But as always, guys, be sure to like, comment, subscribe to the best four-wheel driving channel on YouTube, 4Wheel Drive 24/7. Cheers, guys.